Okay, class. So I wanted to go over with you some more details regarding the 5.2 notes assignment. It's probably going to be a little confusing to you since it's information you've never seen before, so I just want to make sure that this is here for your reference. Okay, the first word that we have for our definitions are case. Okay, so there's the definition there for you. Pause the video, take down the definition. But here is what a computer case will look like. So this protective barrier here, okay, for all the components that go inside the computer. So just like at school you have the computer tower, that is the case that protects it. Okay, and then with a laptop, what you see, the metal or the plastic around the actual components of the computer, that is also part of the laptop case. Okay, so next we'll move on to CPU. Here are the words that you need, the definitions, the facts that you need to type down for CPU. So go ahead and pause this, type it down, and then press play again. Here is what the CPU looks like sitting on the motherboard. Okay, motherboard is our next definition, which we will get to, but this here is the CPU. Okay, stands for Central Processing Unit, sits right on the motherboard, and this is the brain of the computer. Okay, so everything the computer does goes through the CPU, and this is what the CPU will look like sitting on the motherboard. Okay. So now here we come to motherboard. Okay, the motherboard is the heart of the computer. Okay, the computer needs the motherboard to function. Everything that, all the components of the computer sit on the motherboard. Okay, so type down these facts on your sheet, pause it, and here's what the motherboard looks like. Okay, kind of looks like a little city. All the little numbers on it, all the different slots. Okay, so this is what the motherboard looks like. And again, everything, all the components, like this right here that's zoomed in, that's going to be the CPU. Okay, and then these are memory slots, which we're going to learn about next. Okay, so that there is the motherboard. Next, we're going to talk about RAM. Okay, RAM is a type of memory on your computer. Okay, so again, this is found directly on the motherboard, okay, which we just talked about. So go ahead and type down those 5 facts underneath the facts column. Okay, pause the video to type them. And here's what a RAM card will look like, okay? And just like we showed you on the motherboard, okay, there are different slots that the RAM are going to fit into, okay? So whether, depending on the size of your computer, okay, you are going to have 1, 2, or 4 slots for RAM, which it says right here. Okay, that is, the RAM stores the files that are used by the CPU, and it's short-term temporary workspace. Okay, so short-term temporary workspace. So when you open up something, say you open up a Microsoft Word document, okay, when you open that up, you're opening it up using the RAM. Okay, then once you save that Microsoft Word document, you are going to be saving it to the hard drive, which we will talk about next. Okay, so graphics card. Go ahead and type that down on your sheet. Okay, only one definition for this one. So this is simple. A graphics card, okay. Oh, sorry, this is an example of RAM here, okay, getting put on the motherboard into those slots. Okay, I forgot about that. So here we go. Here's the RAM going into the slots. This computer only has 2 RAM slots. So depending on the size of the computer, like I said, it will have more than one, 2, or 4 slots, and the RAMs come in different memory sizes as well. Okay, so here's an example of a graphics card. Looking at the graphics card, it kind of looks like a mini motherboard, right? So what the graphics card does is it communicates everything that is going on inside the computer to your monitor. So everything that we see here, the colors, the text, the tabs, all of that, that's what the graphics card does. Okay. So now here we are with the hard drive. Okay. So type all these down with your on your note sheet. Okay. Then pause it to type them, and then I will play again and I will explain further. So like I said, hard drive is the permanent memory, okay? So it's a storage device kind of like a filing cabinet. And like I said with RAM, okay, so you open up a Microsoft Word document. When you open that up, you're opening it up into the RAM. You're typing on it, editing it, and then when you go to save it permanently, you are saving it to the hard drive. Okay, so then when you open that back up, you're opening it from the hard drive into the RAM, resaving it to the hard drive. Okay? So again, pause, type that stuff down, and Oh, I don't have a picture of the hard drive. So hold on one second. Sorry about that. So here's what the picture of a hard drive will look like in your computer, okay? So it's tons and tons of storage. Depending on the size of the computer, depends on the size of the hard drive. So again, this is what we're looking at here. And there's different sizes of hard drives, just like there's different sizes of RAM as well. Okay, so going back, now we are going to look at the optical drive. Okay, so the optical drive is the CD or DVD drive. You should all know what this looks like. 2 bullet points there to type down. Pause the video, type down those bullet points. Here is what the optical drive will look like on a computer desktop. So this is the actual computer we have at school. So here is the optical drive, where you put the CD in or the DVD. Okay, on a laptop, close that. Here is the optical drive. Okay, that's where the CD, DVD drive, also known as the optical drive. All right. Now we have power supply. Okay, so power supply, type these 3 bullet points down, is what gives your computer power. Everything that goes into the computer that needs power through the power supply. So go ahead and pause it, type these down. Okay, the power supply is usually located at the top of a computer case for a desktop. And for a desktop, this is what it's going to look like. Okay, power supply for a laptop is going to be a little bit different, and that's where you plug in your charging cord. All right, last but not least, we have input and output ports. So go ahead and pause this, type those down. So anything that you plug into your computer that's being plugged into a port, okay, so USB drives, Ethernet cables, HDMI cables, okay, and it connects different things such as keyboards, mice, printers, so forth and so on. All right, here are all different examples of ports, okay, this can be found on a desktop computer. And here are some examples of ports that are found on the laptop computer. So on the laptop, you're going to have them on the sides of the computer. All right, so hope you guys, this helps you with some of these definitions. Again, this is going to be on your quiz that you have next week, so make sure you are taking these notes appropriately.